In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the two large projects I made with the 1 block 4 ways pattern. Welcome to Epida Studio. My name is Elizabeth and I help you make beautiful things with quilting, pajagi, and embroidery. So as you've seen in the summer 2025 quilt along, there's 4 different reversible patchwork projects that you can make with the 1 block 4 ways pattern. And you can make 1 single block, you can make 4 blocks and then put them either in a long layout or a square layout, or you could jump in and make this large project with 20 blocks. And if you decided to make this large project in the quilt along, then you're probably gonna have to hustle if you want to get it done in the month of July, but it's not a race. You can do it on your own time and finish it whenever you get to it. So I'm just gonna talk about 2 of the projects that I made and kind of share how they turned out, what I used, and that might give you inspiration to try something for yourself. So the first one is this piece, and this piece is made with batik fabric. So as you should be familiar with by now, because it's batik fabric, the whole piece is totally reversible. There's not a right and wrong side. And for this piece, I actually had a bundle of pre-cuts, and so I used those for the blocks. And this bundle had 40 strips of fabric in them, and that is the exact number that you need to make 20 blocks. So the blocks do all like blend together. I didn't spend a lot of time matching or laying things out because the fabric was all from one collection. So I knew it was all going to go together. I cut all the pieces and then I just sewed them together randomly. So I did try to vary the fabric within the blocks. I tried to limit the number of repeat fabrics that were in the block, but I didn't stress about that a whole lot. I just tried to have a lot of variety. And I pieced this with a medium gray thread, a light gray thread, and we can see on some of the fabrics, on the darker fabrics, the thread looks like it's light, and on some of the lighter fabrics, the thread looks like it's dark, but I did use the same color thread in the whole piece. And then for this one, when I was choosing the sashing and the border, I did my technique that I often do choosing sashing. I laid some fabrics out and I put some blocks on it to see what it would look like. And I had one fabric and it's like, oh, this fabric is great. This is the one I want to use. And then I went and measured the fabric and I realized I didn't have enough because this one does take quite a bit of fabric for the sashing and the borders. And so I had to go to a backup fabric. It wasn't my first choice, but I picked this bright blue for the sashing and I love how it turned out. So this piece is 58 inches by 70 inches. So that is a pretty big size. So what can you do with this piece? Well, with this, as you can see in the picture, you could hang it in a really large window and it looks beautiful hanging in the window. That picture, it's hanging in a sliding glass door, so that's how large it is. So you could do that, but you could also use it as a tablecloth. And so this is the first time I've made a piece big enough that it could be a whole tablecloth on a good sized table, and I just think it is beautiful. The batik fabric just glows, whether it's in a window or on a tablecloth, and so I think this is a beautiful piece. So it did take a long time to make because there's a lot of blocks, but it's still not as long as it would have taken to make a quilt, because when you're done the piecing, then you're done. That's all there is to do. You don't have to go back and quilt it. So I love how this one turned out. I'm really happy with it. And then the next piece I'm going to share with you, this is the biggest piece I have ever made with this technique. And this one is made with linen fabric. And because it's made with solid linens, it is also reversible because it's made with solids. And this is like a medium lightweight linens. And in fact, some of the linens are slightly different weights, but it's not super heavyweight, but it's not like a really light handkerchief linen. It's like a medium weight linen. And this is dressmaking linen. It's not like the even weave linen that you would use for counted thread embroidery. It is like a dressmaking kind of fabric. So I use these different colors of linen, and again, I just cut the pieces, and then I didn't spend a lot of time super planning out each block. I just tried to avoid having the same color touch itself in the block. So the green and the green don't touch, and the brown don't touch. I tried to keep them separate as much as possible. And then I have this light blue for the sashing and the border. This light blue is not used in any of the blocks. Even though there's blue in the blocks, it's different shades. And then I piece the whole thing with dark blue thread. So the stitching is really visible in this, but in this one, I did actually pay attention and plan it all so that on this side is the double row of stitching on every seam. So that was just a little thing that I had to pay attention to when I was joining every seam, but I did do that in this piece. And it's not something that's required for this, as I've said in all the videos, but I did do that in this one. Now this piece is really large because these blocks are even bigger. So I did have a previous video about how to design a larger size blocks. I made these blocks so that they were 15 inches square. So that means that this whole piece is 76 inches by 94 inches. So this is a large piece. And so this, I made this to be a lightweight bed cover. So if you live in a warm climate or during the summer, you might want to have a patchwork piece in your bed, but you don't want a quilt because it's too warm. So this is a great option. It's still patchwork, it's still handmade, but it doesn't have the same weight as a quilt. And I haven't seen how this will be yet, but I'm imagining with the linen, it will also be pretty breathable with that. Now, another option, if you didn't want to have just this by itself, is you could take something like this and turn it into a duvet cover. Because I know a lot of quilters, they say they like quilts, but they also like sleeping with a duvet. And there's been some talk about, well, if you make a quilt top and you're going to turn it into a duvet, can those seams on the quilt, the raw edges, handle all the wear and tear? And is it going to last as a duvet cover? Do you need to quilt it? Do you need to line it? Well, with this, you wouldn't need to line it. You wouldn't need to quilt it. You could just take this and then put a backing piece, so it's like a big pillowcase, and then put your duvet in there, and you don't need to worry about the raw edges because all the seams are covered. So I am not going to do that with this. I'm going to leave it as a single layer. But if you are somebody who really likes sleeping with the duvet, but you want something kind of quilty, then this could be a good choice for you. So if you have any questions about these, drop it in the comments and I will be happy to answer them and share more details that I missed out or my experiences. And if you made a big piece, I would love to hear about it. For sure, tell me about it. And I'm curious to see what you thought about this project. So I hope you've enjoyed these 4 versions of the 1 block 4 rays pattern. And if you're interested in other patterns or other tutorials, you can find that at my website, epidastudio.com.